Welcome to 2025. It's a great year. It's going to be a year of surplus. It's going to be a year of abundance. It's going to be a year of achievement. It's going to be a year of multiple blessings. So, welcome to another segment, the first of its kind in the new year, year 2025. And today I will be talking about something that is going to be of immense benefit to you, most especially now that we are starting the new year on a fresher start. I'll be talking about financial mistakes that you need to avoid in the year 2025. 2024 has actually gone, and fortunately for most of us, we're able to accomplish a lot of things for ourselves, and it was a year of a dream come true. So let's make this year 2025 a year of surplus, a year of financial achievement, a year most especially of financial freedom and independence. So this year, as we start 2025 in January, there are some certain financial mistakes that you need to avoid in your life, because anything you do now will actually have either a negative or a positive effect on your finances. And that's why I'm talking about the fact that you need to start this year on a stronger footing. When you start this year on a strong footing, there's every assurances that you can finish this year on a stronger footing as well and accomplish your whims and caprices. Now, for you to be able to achieve all these things, you need a strong financial goals, and there are some certain mistakes that you need to avoid in your life to avoid some pitfalls, or to avoid those things that will actually make it very difficult for you to accomplish your goals in 2025. You see, 2025 is starting on a new note, and it's actually a year of accomplishing a lot of things, especially when it is in the area of the four pillars of wealth, which is your health, your finances, and some other things that makes up your financial life, including physical fitness, and your spirituality, and also your mental fitness. We call them the four pillars of wealth. So your four pillars of wealth in 2025 must be 100%. In the area of your finances, you need to be 100%. In the area of your spirituality, you need to be 100%. In the area of your mental well-being, you need to be 100%. In the area of your health, you need to be 100% as well. So let us now go into those financial mistakes that you need to avoid in 2025. Number one of them, which I'll be talking about now, is taking unnecessary loans. Taking unnecessary loans. You see, loans can actually be tempting. It can actually be sometimes attractive, but when you look down or deep into loans that most of us actually apply for, you are going to understand that most of these loans, they have a lot of high interest rates. But unfortunately, most of us don't even look deep into the interest rates and some hidden charges that are attached to these loans that most of us are not even aware of. I could remember some years back when I actually applied for a loan as well, and the bank actually began to cutlass me at the end of the month, and I began to scream, "What is this?" Because it was full of some hidden charges that the banks did not even inform me at the beginning before I took the loan, but I paid a very high price. So right now, taking loan, if you don't have any form of business that you want to do that can be having what I call a high yield at the end of the or profitability, then you don't need to apply for that loan. So loan can actually be tempting, but sometimes they have hidden charges, and if care is not taken, they can actually disrupt our finances at the end of the day. because of the high interest rate. Interest rate in Nigeria now is about 24%, interest rate. That is, if you're actually taking any money from any mortgage financial institutions or banks now, you are going to pay nothing less than 24% of the interest on the money you are actually collecting. And this interest rate is actually very, very outrageous. It is very, very high on the high side. Apart from that interest rate, you also have some hidden bank charges that the banks will not disclose to you. At the end of the day, you may find paying the loan back very, very difficult. Unfortunately, again, adding insult to injury is that you're going to pay penalties when you actually default in paying the loan. So if you want to start 2025 on a strong footing, you need to avoid taking unnecessary, look at that word, taking unnecessary loans. That is, loans that you do not necessarily need, but because they are very attractive, the mortgage financial institutions or the financial institutions make them very simple to take. Most of us will actually fall victim of this scenario. So you need to avoid taking unnecessary loan in 2025. Number two things that you need to avoid in 2025, or financial mistakes you need to avoid in 2025, is what I call mixing personal and business finances. Mixing personal and business finances. You see, your business should be separated from your personal finances. But in most cases, most of us, we actually, bring them together, and at the end of the day, we create what I call confusion, So we feel that in our own best interest, we need to link our personal finances and business finances together. But this system or this idea of linking both of them together is not a very good idea, because it can actually lead to what I call financial confusion. It can also lead to what I call financial distractions, most especially when you join both of them together. So for you to avoid these mistakes, you need to separate both of them. When you actually separate your personal finances from your business finances, you are ensuring what I call transparency and accountability. So 2025, don't join your businesses and personal finances together to avoid confusion. So if you want transparency, if you want probity, if you want accountability, if you want to achieve your financial goals this year, there is a need for you to separate them from each other. Each of them should be distinct from each other and should not be combined together, so that you'll be able to monitor and track your businesses, if your business is actually making profit or not, and you can be able to be dynamic in introducing some financial policies and ideas, or bringing up ideas that can actually help you to grow your business at the end of the day. But when you mix them together, there's every possibility that you might not be able to track it very effectively, and if care is not taken, you are going to fall into financial confusion at the end of the day. So to avoid this, separate your financial and your personal finances and your business finances from each other. Don't join them together. Number three things that you need to avoid, or financial mistakes that you need to avoid in 2025, is that you need to avoid investing without proper understanding. Avoid investing your money without proper understanding. You see, most of us, we don't have financial education, and unfortunately we follow random guys on YouTube who do not have the ideas on how to invest their money, because most of them, they are actually confusing, they are actually misleading, they have what I call misinformation. And if care is not taken, when you follow these people, you might likely make a lot of mistakes. And that is why I have always emphasized that you need financial education. So for you to be able to invest wisely, for you to be able to grow your money healthily, for you to be able to become wealthy and rich, then you need to have a proper understanding of financial investment. So what are we saying here? For you to be able to have a proper understanding about financial investment, you need what we call financial education. And the social media is actually there. We have so many books on how to actually build your wealth, on investment portfolios that you can actually put your money into, that you can make money at the end of the day. Like I always encourage and tell most of my fans out there that you can actually invest your money into money market fund, which is MMF. And right now, presently, in the current economic dispensation, I think it is the highest paying investment portfolio in Nigeria. And I feel the same thing applies all over the world. So for you to actually prosper in 2025, you need financial education. So don't invest your money without proper understanding. Don't put your money where you don't have an idea on how the system actually operates at the end of the day. So investing is actually an intelligent way to build wealth. But putting your money in projects you don't completely understand can actually cause you what I call harm at the end of the day. So you need to avoid that. You need to take time to study the dangers and benefits while seeking professional counsel. And that's why I always tell people, before you actually invest your money, you need to consult a professional, a portfolio investment manager. I could remember when I wanted to start my investment, I actually went to the company or the financial institution where I met my portfolio investment manager, and it actually took me through the onions, through the lacuna, the subject matter, or the intuitus of what it entails, and those aspects which I can actually invest my money. And it took its time, and I also asked questions, and at the end of the day, I decided I was going for money market fund. There are other funds you can actually invest your money, like euro bonds, like dollar funds, like ALA funds, like fixed funds, and the rest of them. There are many of them. So you need to seek for professional advice before you actually invest your money. Then in 2025, which is another addition, is that you need to avoid this rich quick scheme, quick rich scheme. This get rich quick scheme where a lot of people are actually deceived that if you actually put like 100 naira or 1,000 naira, you are going to get 50,000 naira. You need to avoid that scheme this year. And presently now in 2025, the Nigerian government is waging a war on the Ponzi schemes in Nigeria, because that thing is actually destroying a lot of life in this country. At the end of the day, people lose all their money, their life investment, while pursuing this rich scheme that does not yield any interest at the end of the day. So a lot of people are actually deceived. They are actually very gullible to putting all their entire finances into these things, and at the end of the day, they end up regretting. So you need to avoid that. So you need to be contented with what you have. You need to be satisfied with what you have. You need to be okay with what you have and build up yourself gradually, because building wealth is actually a decade of sacrifice. It is something that you build over time, and it does not come up within a twinkling of an eye. It's actually a decade of sacrifice. So avoid reckless lifestyle in 2025, because reckless lifestyle is also one of the cankerworms that actually eat deep into the finances of people, that makes it very difficult for people to actually achieve their financial goals in their lives. So if you want the best for yourself in 2025, you need to avoid reckless lifestyle, that is extravagant lifestyle, spending money lavishly without any plan for tomorrow, because in most cases a lot of people have actually eaten their future today. They have actually eaten their future today, and when the future actually comes, there's nothing for them to eat at the end of the day. So they end up in what I call hunger. They end up in regret. They end up in depression. They end up in suffering, because while they were supposed to, when they have that money and they ought to have invested the money, they didn't. invest the money, but rather they were spending the money recklessly, because money is actually a spirit. If you don't know how to spend the money will leave you. So money is for creation of what? Of further money. It is for the creation of a wealth. It is for building wealth. It's for building, surplus at the end of the day. So you need not to strain your financial budget in 2025. Number 4, financial mistakes you need to avoid in 2025 is actually confusing savings with investment. You see, this is very, very important. A lot of us think that savings and investment are the same. They are never the same. Now, when you talk about savings is actually the